What's up, Scooby Scream fans? Celebrations are in order. I cannot believe this, but you guys have put me over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I've only been doing this for a bit over a week, and I've said it in all of my previous videos. I never expected to start a YouTube or, get like 100, 200 subscribers. So to have this many people coming to my channel, watching my videos to hear me yap about Scream, about horror, about whatever you guys want to hear me talk about, it means a lot. I'm so excited to be building this community. You have no idea how much fun I have reading the comments, seeing what you guys think about my ideas and theories and the news. It just brings me so much joy, and I can't believe that I get to keep doing this and to just keep chatting with you all. My last video, I think, which was on my Scream 7 opening predictions, has almost 4,000 views. I just posted it yesterday. Like, the appetite for Scream content must be high, and for whatever reason, y'all want to hear me talking about it. So that means a lot to me. I really do love you all and am grateful to have, built this community even in a couple of days, and to continue to keep building it just makes me so excited. And as always, please let me know if there's anything you want to hear me specifically talk about. Today's video is going to focus on the characters that we know will be in Scream 7. That is all of the casting announcements. I have a hunch we may be getting a few more. I feel like we have to be. I'll talk about that at the end. But a few more orders of business that I want to get to before we actually jump into that character breakdown, where I will also be giving you my predictions for Ghostfaces, as well as who will live and who will survive. I want to make sure that I mention that Mason Gooding just recently did an interview with Entertainment Tonight talking about his upcoming slasher film Hard Eyes, and he did have a bit to say about returning for Scream 7 with Jasmine Savoy Brown, who of course plays his sister in the film, Mindy Meeks Martin. He talked about coming back with her, what their relationship is like, how, whenever they're together, he feels like she's his sister, and they get along so well, and their characters are so much fun to play, and that sort of thing, which was nice to hear. And he also talked about our queen, Neve Campbell, Sydney Prescott, and how she is returning. He called her mother. He said, "That's mother." And I just love that, because that is totally how I feel like I speak, and I feel like how a lot of us diehard Scream fans speak. I think he called her the godmother of horror, which, let's be real, that is so accurate. And I just love how much respect he has for her, and how much you can tell he's excited to be in this film with her. I would love to see a scene with Chad and Sydney. I feel like we need to get it. We need to get some scenes with Sydney, with Chad, with Mindy. Hopefully Martha Meeks is coming back. And I had seen some people saying, like, what if Sydney, when she was younger, babysat the Meeks twins? What if we see some photos in Sydney's house with Sydney, Martha, and the twins when they were younger or something? I would just love that. I would also love to see if there is if they have a dad who's going to be in this film, Chad and Mindy, since we've only ever met Martha Meeks. Do they have a dad? There's been some, I want to say, conspiracy theories out there about how the character of Joel Martin from Scream 2 could possibly be the dad of Chad and Mindy. I do not know how much I buy that. That is a theory that apparently has been out there since Scream 5, since their last names are Meeks Martin. There are some theories that, maybe the character of Joel is their dad, but I don't even know if Joel Martin, the last name Martin, is the official last name of Joel from Scream 2, or if that's something that fans just came up with. Nonetheless, it is an interesting theory, but until we see it on screen, I am not buying it. However, I would love to see Joel come back in this next Scream installment. But yes, Sydney, Chad, Mindy, would love to see them in a scene together. We'll get into their character breakdown in just a second. The other thing that I just want to mention is we now have 2 Ghostfaces from the Scream franchise who are Oscar nominees. Mikey Madison is officially nominated for Best Actress for her performance as the lead role in Anora, which is a fantastic movie. Mikey is a queen, and anyone who saw Scream 5 and Mikey's fantastic performance in that film should not be surprised that she got this Oscar nomination. The other person to be nominated for an Oscar This one for Best Supporting Actress is, of course, Laurie Metcalf, who does play Nancy Loomis, aka Debbie Salt in Scream 2, who I believe is one of the most underrated Ghostfaces and one of the best. I think Amber ranks among the best as well, too. So happy for Mikey. Love this. And I feel like Matthew Lillard is like the next Ghostface who has to be nominated or, God, win an Oscar because he's just so talented. But anyway, I think that gets us through all of the news. I don't really have any other Scream updates to share with you. Scream news updates, I should say, from the last video. If you want to hear the updates that we do have, the couple of possible set photos that we've gotten, definitely go check out my last video, which I posted just like 2 days ago. I think that we covered a lot of ground there, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about my possible Scream 7 openings. So let's get into this. I'm going to walk through. I'm going to keep this fairly brief because it is later in the day. I've had a really long week, y'all, and I, to be honest, didn't know if I was going to make this video. It's just been a lot, but I really wanted to celebrate and get some information about the cast out there since I feel like I haven't talked about each of the cast members individually. Shout out to my amazing friend Ryan C. Showers, host of Scream with Ryan C. Showers, the Scream podcast, which I highly encourage everyone to listen to. New episodes drop every Tuesday. We have Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, the recently announced Joel McHale, Isabel May, Mason Gooding, Jasmine Savoy Brown, McKenna Grace, Anna Camp, Sam Reckner, Celeste O'Connor, and Asa German. So I'm going to go through this list, tell you who I think is going to live, who I think is going to die, who I think are going to be the killers, and just some other info. But again, I'm going to try to keep it somewhat brief, both for yours and my sake. So starting with Sidney Prescott, who we know is going to be the focus of this film for sure. She's going to live. She has to live. You kill Sidney, you're killing me. We can't do it. Kevin Williamson won't let it happen. I don't think Nev would have ever signed on for this script if she knew she was going to die. Sidney will survive. No, she will not be a ghost face. I am open to any and all theories people have, even the theory of Nev being or Sidney being a ghost face, but I'm not buying it. I am not believing it. Sorry, not happening. Sidney will live on. She has to be in Screams 8, and fingers crossed we get a 9. Next, we have Courtney Cox returning as Gale Weathers. I think there is a greater chance we could be losing Gale than Sidney. However, I do not want to see it happen in Scream 7. I never want to see it because I want Gale to live on through the franchise. She is the only actor to appear in every single Scream installment. That is 7 in a row. That is an incredible achievement. And I believe she is the only actress. She was the only actress to ever appear in 6 consecutive horror films and will be the first to appear in 7 consecutive, which is just an incredible achievement. Courtney Cox, the legend that you are. I want to see her survive. Some predictions I have for her character in this film, I've already talked about them. I think she's going to be really grappling with Dewey's loss in this film. I also think she's going to be struggling with her purpose and what she wants to continue doing. We've talked about how she might have lost her morning show that we saw in Scream 5. We saw signs in Scream 6 that she might be having some trouble, specifically the interaction and engagement between her and Tara Carpenter outside of the police station. And I don't think that it is crazy to think that Gale might have lost her footing a little bit. And if the speculation does come true about her possibly hitting that mental patient outside of Sidney's house and then having a local reporter cover it as her spinning out of control and losing her mind, and painting her as a villain, that could be a very interesting way to explore sort of the tables being turned on her and her being put in the place of the people that she has covered and reported on in the past. So I would be interested to see that. I hope we get a deep character exploration of Gale's character and that she has a fantastic arc, which I am predicting she will. And I think she and Sidney are really going to be driving the story, along with Sidney Prescott's daughter, who will be played by Isabel May. It's been rumored her name could be Taylor. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, her name is Tatum. I think it would be a beautiful, tasteful tribute to the iconic Tatum Riley from Scream, Sidney's forever best friend. I just think it would be so sweet. And I've also said that we know Sidney doesn't have a son. If she did, I'd love for it to be Dewey, but I would love a dog or cats named Dewey. It would just be so sweet. And if it were a dog, it'd be a cute tie back to Scream 3 where she had Cherokee. Maybe she could have, I think it was another golden retriever, and name it Dewey. I would love that. The daughter will be played by Isabel May. I think that we are going to see a struggle of Sydney being overprotective of Isabel May's character, especially after the opening, which I do believe will involve Isabel May and Sydney in some way, shape, or form. I do think this may be the first opening where we have Sydney being a part of it. Whether Isabel May's character is actually attacked in the opening or Sydney is attacked in the opening, that is a whole other conversation, but go and watch my last video because I talk about it. So Isabel May is playing Sydney's, I think, high school age daughter. She's probably going to be like a junior or senior in high school. There's been rumors about her possibly being a part of the drama club or department at school, the way that Sydney was at Windsor College, which will be an interesting connection to explore. We really don't know much else about Isabel May's character. And I did want to add that going back to Mason Gooding's interview with Entertainment Tonight, they are keeping details about Scream 7 under wraps, which I kind of like because I do not want to know. I really don't want to know what's going to happen in this film. As much as I love to talk about it and speculate, I don't want to know. Next up, we have Joel McHale as Mark Evans. We don't know anything about him apart from him being Sydney's husband. Remember, it's not Patrick Dempsey playing Mark Kincaid. It is Joel McHale playing Mark Evans, who I do hope will be a very loving and supportive husband to Sydney. Now, I do predict that we are going to lose him. I don't think he'll be the opening kill because we need to establish some time and see him as the father to Sydney's kids and Sydney and his relationship to really grow and have some attachment to the character. But I do think he would be a good second kill scene to really pull the rug out from under us and, pack that emotional punch of losing one of the main characters in the film and just knowing how hard it's going to impact Sydney and the kids. I don't think Joel McHale is going to be a killer. I would not like that. I hope that he is not a killer. I think that would be a disgrace to Sydney's judgment and her character. I've talked about that. I'm going to leave it there. Anna Camp's character. We strongly think that she will be playing a rumored friend of Sydney's in her neighborhood. She is really apart from Nev and Courtney, she's really the only middle-aged woman that we have in the film. A lot of fingers are being pointed toward her as being a Ghostface, potentially the mother of Leslie Mocker, or the mother of Stu Mocker, Leslie Mocker, in disguise. We will see if that is the case. Now, a lot of people have had some concerns about Anna Camp's character being Leslie Mocker, who would be Sydney's best friend, because wouldn't Sydney know that it was Leslie Mocker? Wouldn't Gail Weathers know that it was Leslie Mocker? Well, the counter to that is, what if Sydney hasn't seen her since she was younger? What if she got work done? What if she had this transformation of some kind? I don't know. I think I have faith in Kevin to deliver and execute a story in a way that makes sense and can be rationalized. So we will see what happens. I also think that Anna Camp could be an amazing, I'm talking cotton weary, amazing level of a red herring. We could go throughout the whole movie thinking 100% it has to be her. And then we could be surprised when it is not in the end and she is actually wanting to help Sydney. I mean, how interesting would it be if she was actually Leslie Mocker, the mother of Vince, and led us all to believe that she had to be complicit and had to be the one running a cult of Ghostfaces, and then she actually ends up being one of the good guys and helping Sydney and wanting to be there for her. What if she gets killed in the end trying to protect Sydney, and we learn that it was Leslie Mocker, but that she was one of the good people and was heartbroken about what her brother did to Sydney when they were all younger. And yes, she was sad about Vince, but she knew and realized that it wasn't Sydney's fault. I think that could be interesting. Obviously, the question becomes, would Sydney ever be friends knowingly with Leslie Mocker, one of the relatives of Stu? I don't think you can never say never. Knowing Sydney, knowing her resilience, knowing her openness and just desire to get back to normalcy, maybe she just says, I'm going to be friends with you. I don't know. I know that that's wild, but maybe Anna Camp's character ends up being a scorned relative of Casey Becker or Cece Cooper or Olivia Morris, one of the collateral damage that has been partially, I don't want to say at fault of Sydney, but that has been left in her wake. We'll see. I think Anna Camp, strong chance she'll be a Ghostface or an amazing red herring. We will just have to see. I do think if it's not her, someone else will be running a small group of Ghostfaces as a cult, but I think that we are going to get at least one or two other adult female casting announcements, as well as one or two other males. I just feel like there needs to be a few more to really not finger point solely at Anna Camp, because right now she's looking at like Ghostface #1 in my eyes. Next, I've already talked about this. We have Mason and we have Mindy returning. I think we have Mason and Jasmine Savoy Brown returning. I think that they could both be in the opening along with Martha. They could both be killed. That would be truly shocking to have two characters from the last two installments killed at once, and even maybe Martha Meeks. Like, that would be wild, shocking. It would really set the tone going forward of the stakes are super high film, anything goes. I think it would be fascinating. I'm interested to see again what Mason what Chad and Mindy's relationship is with Sydney, how much they interact with Gail. I would love to see them all together intermingling. Maybe they are working with Isabel May's character's friend group, sort of like the younger generation, to help them, figure out what's going on. Mindy is sharing more rules with them. I think that could be done well, especially with Kevin Williamson taking a pass at the script. I made a joke that it would be fun to see Mindy tear apart the two most recent Halloween films, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, and talk about Evil Dies Tonight and the disaster and how they should have kept it at just the requel. I think that would be hilarious. I'm also wearing my Halloween shirt, which here I'll show you guys, because I feel like everyone always likes to see when I wear cool shirts. And then we also have McKenna Grace, who I have speculated I think is very likely going to be either our individual opening kill or part of a larger opening kill involving Sydney's daughter, played by Isabel May, and we may get an opening scene with them and then Sydney coming into play later, either because she finds out from Ghostface or some other way, or gets a call from Isabel May's character, her daughter. I have a strong feeling McKenna Grace will be the opening kill and sort of be like the Drew Barrymore or the Jada Pinkett Smith of this film. Could she end up going on to be one of the folks in the friend group, who I think is going to be comprised of possibly McKenna Grace, Isabel May, Celeste O'Connor, Asa German, and Sam Reckner's characters, possibly, but I just see McKenna as being a really solid opening kill. But you never know, she could be a Ghostface. I think that McKenna Grace and Celeste O'Connor, either of them being Ghostfaces in the end, along with Anna Camp, or whoever else, would truly be a shock. So then we have Celeste O'Connor, who I think is a great casting addition. She, for me, is probably the least likely to be a Ghostface. I think that she's probably a kill midway through the movie. However, if they did choose to use her as a Ghostface, maybe with Anna Camp, and it's two female Ghostfaces, I think the first time that we would have had that would be absolutely iconic. I feel like no one would see Celeste's character coming. And that could be really cool, especially because Asa German and Sam Reckner are our final two out of the 11 who have been announced. And I think basically either of them could be a Ghostface. We know that it's likely that Anna Camp's character, if she is playing Sydney's friend and neighbor, will have a son. I think it could be either of them. I'm leaning more toward it being Asa German. And then I think that Sam Reckner could be Isabel May's significant other or boyfriend. That would obviously be Sydney's daughter's boyfriend. And I think there'd be something really interesting to explore there, because like Sydney and Billy, we would have a sort of Tatum, I'm calling her Tatum because I want her character's name to be Tatum so bad. We would have a Tatum and Sam Reckner's character situation where they're maybe spending time together, sneaking off, and Sydney's having to monitor and just being super overbearing, rightfully so, and overprotective, because she doesn't want to see what happened to her daughter. It's just going to be so amazing to explore. But my top three for Ghostfaces would be Anna Camp's character, Asa German's character, and Sam Reckner's character. This is really interesting. I've seen some theories that we could get the first Scream where a killer is known by the audience and continues on to the next film, but that the people in the film do not know who the third killer is. So could that be Anna Camp, and maybe we continue on and find out she's the killer in Scream 8, and whoever is playing her son or another character that she was puppeteering is the killer, and they die. We could see what happens. I think we'll probably end up having the killers die in the end. It's just a matter of how many. I'm probably thinking 2, since we had 3 in the last one. I think 2. Or I think if it's not 2, it's going to be like, it could be as many as like 4 or 5. We could go crazy. And I've said that we likely have a couple of casting announcements that have yet to be made. So I'm going to keep an eye out for those. But yeah, I think that that's it. I don't want to speculate any longer because we really, like I said, do not know much about these characters. They're keeping things tightly under wraps. We're not really getting any production photos. We haven't seen Nev, Courtney, Jasmine, any of these people on set. So I love this. It's exciting. I love speculating. I love, talking through ideas with you guys. If I was going to predict who we might see being cast next, I could see another police officer or sheriff or deputy character being introduced, a la Judy Hicks or Dewey, since we don't really have that going into Scream 7. I've also said, and this has been speculated, that Gail will likely have a nemesis or an antagonist going up against her in this film named Robbie, or it could be a woman, who knows. We don't have a casting announcement for this supposed Robbie yet, but it'd be neat to see that. And then maybe another friend or two of Sydney's in the neighborhood, just to divert some attention from Anna Camp and to give us some more suspects. I would love to see a strong red herring. I'm talking Cotton Weary levels in the original Scream and Scream 2 and Judy Hicks levels in Scream 4. It would just be great. We need another strong, solid red herring. And I think Anna Camp could be a great one too, but there needs to be some signs or evidence of having another, character who could really blow it out of the water as Ghostface, because I think Anna Camp would just destroy it. She's so good at mean and camp and anger, and I could just see her totally crushing it. But I'm going to wrap it here. I've already gone too long. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Please like, please subscribe, please turn on post notifications, please comment, please follow me on X and Instagram at Scooby Scream, and I'm on TikTok at Jake Lub. I love y'all. Cut it, Casper. That's a wrap. Thanks for 1K. Let's get to 2K. I will also be doing a live movie walkthrough soon with y'all. You have to let me know which Scream 1 through 6 you would like me to do. You know my answer is going to be 2, but I will let you guys decide. Also, sorry guys, I'm adding this in post. The amazing Roger L. Jackson will obviously be back as Ghostface 2. I couldn't leave him out. So I guess that makes 12. And then I will make a separate video about this, which I meant to do in this one, but we'll leave it till next time. Could Hayden Panettiere be returning as Kirby? Could we be seeing, yes, David Arquette back as Dewey in some way, shape, or form? I'm not kidding. This is speculated. And could Josh Segarra be coming back as Danny Brackett? I will go into my thoughts on that in the next video.